Like, I've hit record.
Oh,
Yeah.
my word! I did not realize. I kind of
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We'll start it whenever it starts.
Go.
Okay.
That's too easy.
Yeah, way too fucking easy.
What do we talk about?
I don't know.
Nothing. We got nothing.
Nothing. All right, podcast is over. That's it. Go home. We're done.
Whenever I listen to you, it's like, go home. I'm like, what do you mean?
What do you mean? Yeah. No, the outro, I'm not completely sold on it yet, but I've used it enough times. I think I have to now.
Yeah. No, I see.
And that was stolen from you too. And
From me?
Yeah, and you stole it from Ferris Bueller.
I did?
You did.
I don't remember.
Well, he says at the end of the movie.
Oh, no, I know what you're talking about. I remember
Yeah.
Ferris Bueller. I don't remember me doing it.
Yeah, no, you were the first one to do it.
It was?
Yeah, it was.
I mean, yes, of course.
It was an episode with you and Moss.
You know-
I'm pretty sure.
This is a fun fact, and you might not know, but Ferris Bueller actually got that from me.
Oh, okay, yeah. In what is it, 1987?
Something like
I
that.
think, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it does check out. We are all in our 30s.
Well,
Yeah.
not only that, it's not just Ferris Bueller. You know who else? Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate's been a topic for like fucking 4 episodes in a
Real
row.
quick, his TikTok feed,
Yeah.
it's nothing but videos of me and my life advice
Oh, of course, yeah.
on women and cars and...
So everything he says is actually an opinion of yours.
That's right.
Everything.
That's right.
From the human trafficking to the beating women, it's all you. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad we cleared that up now.
I know.
Just gotta make some calls, and I'm gonna just message the project directly and just
The
be like,
project.
The project. They are the most elite source of news. You see, if you want something to get out there, you give the information to the project, and they'll make sure that everyone in Australia knows, because they are the most respected news source in the country.
This is true. I
Yeah.
can't think of one more respected except for my Twitter feed.
Your Twitter feed.
The one thing that I tweet.
Yes,
That's
yeah,
the most
yeah.
respectable
Yeah.
news. And my TikTok. That's
See,
right.
I've got most of your tweets muted because I don't care.
Most of my... The thing is... Alright, let's have a quick look. Okay, hold on. Because I think that when it's something that I actually tweet, a lot of the time it's pretty... Like, at least some of the time.
Yeah.
Like, right here. The last tweet that I posted myself was all cooking shows should have to show the washing up on screen afterwards.
Right, there you go. See, now, something that you didn't think of, you can search up keywords in Twitter and it'll come straight to your account. So you just dox yourself, essentially, to anyone who wants to do the research.
It's an anonymous Twitter account. They can. That's fine.
Yeah, well...
That's okay. That's A-okay.
There you go, you see.
Something about mortgages. Something.
You know, we've gone through your Twitter before on the show. On, like, episode 2, I think. Moss and I were talking shit. I don't remember if it was any good, though, so...
Yeah, other than that, the last one before that was on June 1st. It's just in winter, 100% of office conversations in the mornings is about how cold it is outside. Guaranteed.
Well, there you go, see?
It's a true story. It's true. Now, we've both got notes
Oh, yeah.
of things that we've wanted to...
The first thing I want to address, though, right, is famous comedian Tim Dillon stole an idea of ours.
He did.
He did.
Is this real?
Straight up, 100%.
Okay.
He did an idea of a thing after we've done on the podcast.
All right.
Therefore, stolen from us. 100%.
Was it the joke stealing segment?
No. This wasn't a joke. This was real.
What was it?
He ordered food on the show.
Didn't you do that in one of the first episodes?
I don't think so. Oh, we did, yes. Yeah. That was episode 2. Episode 2, Moss and I ordered HSPs.
Okay.
But, Tim Dillon ordered pizza on episode 305 of the Tim Dillon Show.
I see.
And he must have seen the episode and gone, you know what, these boys, they've got a great idea. I'm going to steal it.
We obviously mentioned this in passing when we met him, and he's like, that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm going to steal that, and there's nothing you can do because I have the most expensive lawyers in New York.
Not only will I take all their money, I'll also take their ideas.
That's right. And there's nothing you can do about us. And then he called us pigs, and he kicked us. And that's what happened. This
basically happened, and that's not even a joke. Like,
yeah.
basically happened.
Yes. He stole the money, he stole our ideas, and then just kicked us to the street.
And then we saw this guy with one arm smoking.
Yeah.
And my number one question about that was, how did he light it?
That's a good point.
Now, you can say, well, he put it in his mouth and he lit it.
Yes.
More, you would think so.
Yeah.
It was windy.
Okay.
So how did you come? How did
He
he?
stood in a corner. You see, he had to go find the smoking corner, the designated smoking corner in St. Kilda, yeah, and
Obviously.
he had to light his cigarette. Or he got a small child to do it for him. Because obviously they're at the height, they reach up, they're about the height of the cigarette. If he hunches over, they could have helped, realistically and ideally. They would have.
Very altruistic of them, really.
Yeah. And it's a part of the learning rituals of St. Kilda, really.
I see.
It's in the school curriculum. They all have to learn how to use a lighter because sooner or later they are all going to try crack.
Well, exactly. It's one of those skills people always say, well, we're not going to use any of these skills at school. Why do we learn things like how to do our taxes or how to light our fucking meth?
That's right, yes.
And they've really listened.
The homeless community has really stood up for these kids and have just... They've taught them everything they know. And now they're out giving back to the community.
God bless.
Yes. God bless St. Kilda.
That's right. There's this topic that the Barnzey and I have been avoiding discussing together
For like weeks.
Weeks and weeks and weeks.
Like, save it for the podcast. Next episode, next week. Oh,
we'll film it tomorrow. We'll film it then.
Well, next one. That's all right. And now we're finally discussing it. Is it what I think it's going to be?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Before I purchased it, on Amazon Prime Day, there was these headphones for sale. They were normally $300 AUD, and then this time they were $200.
When is Amazon Prime Day? Sorry.
This was like a month ago now, wasn't it?
Okay. Thank you, Jeff Bezos.
Yeah. And these headphones were advertised having 300 hours of battery life, which is crazy. That's nuts. The best Bluetooth wireless headphones you can get are like 12 to maybe 20 hours of constant use max, usually, something like that.
Yeah, that's what mine were before I switched to the wired ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these headphones and advertised at 300 hours. I'm like, that is obviously not true. It's like one of those scam ones. One time when I was in China, I bought this, a few years ago, I bought this USB, quote unquote, like having 4 terabytes of storage. And this was in like
4 terabyte USB.
It was also 2015 when most people were also using hard drives instead of SSDs, except for the main booting partition. Anyway, so 4 terabytes USB, very lightweight. It was crazy. That was obviously stupid. But there was a way that you could just change the sort of the firmware on it to make it look like it had that much. So I thought it was a similar situation to that. It's a HyperX Cloud Alpha or something like that.
HyperX 300, I believe.
I
wrote it down. That's how specific I wanted to
The 300
get.
was the price, but I'm pretty sure it was Cloud Alpha or something.
Anyway. Oh yeah. Sorry, I wrote HyperX 300 hour headset. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Go on.
Oh yeah, the other hours, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so and then look up reviews. I'm like, this actually seems legit. It's on sale. Like, okay, so I buy it.
Okay.
I get it. It arrives and it's on 90% battery because a lot of the time they come on battery. Used it for like 3.5 weeks. Every day at least 4 hours. It's still on 90% battery. Now, you could argue...
How many hours did you use it for? We can do the math on that right now. Because that's like...
That's 4 times 21.
4 times 21?
Okay.
Yeah.
Which would be 204...
4 times 21
Are you
is...
stupid?
4 times 21 is 84.
What am I thinking of?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's been stupid. Never mind.
Anyway.
Fine. 84.
Yeah.
Anyway, and you could argue and you could say, well, clearly the thing detecting between what the percentage is and the battery itself is wrong. And fine, even if that's the case, let's assume it's about to crash. It's still gone 84 hours, and it still says 90% and it's still going. And I've just not charged it once.
Right.
And that's insane, right? This is insanity. 300 hours.
That shouldn't exist. It's like, and if it does, you'd probably get cancer from it. Like, it's a nuclear reactor strapped to your head. There's no other way that you can get that many hours of power. Like, prove me wrong.
No. The only caveat is, besides the cancer, is it uses like a USB driver, so it's not Bluetooth because that would use a shit ton of battery.
Yeah.
That plugs directly into the computer or something, and people are like, oh, well then yeah, like you can't use it on a plane or anything like that. And it's like, well yeah, that's true. Like you couldn't use it with like a phone or anything like that. Maybe you could with Android if you plugged it in, but regardless. So yeah, that is an issue. But sometimes I'll stand up and there'll be slightly a cable in my way, and I have to brush it away, and I don't need to do that.
Yeah, there you go. See, because you have your nuclear-powered headset.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, when it dies, so never charge it. Right on the day it dies, we'll celebrate on the show.
Okay.
Yeah, because And then you're never allowed to charge it up again.
I see.
You have to buy another headset.
Well, that was what I was curious about. I'm like, we can single-handedly solve this country's energy crisis.
Yes.
By using one of these headsets and plugging it into the grid.
Absolutely.
That's
just one. And it would last for like half a second, but it would power the whole grid.
You know what? Maybe.
I think that might actually work.
And that's it. Any comments, questions?
No, that's like I'm amazed at how technology is like these days.
But just this one headset, no one else's.
No one else's headset. No.
Just these people.
Is it your personalized headset?
Yes. Is.
So, how many of the like something like this should have caught way more attention?
You would think.
But
like, I've tried this out personally. It's not a scam.
It's
anyway. Use my referral code to buy it.
I was gonna say, yeah. Like saying it, I didn't think it was a scam, but you saying it was not a scam now makes it sound like a scam. You see?
Like I said, just use my referral code when you buy it, and it totally works. If it doesn't, then it's your personal one that's broken. Because mine 100% works.
Yes. Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, for sure.
So code Keem at the checkout.
Code Keem at the checkout.
Of Amazon.
I'll remember that.
Okay.
I'll remember. I'll buy that with the microphone arms, so I don't have to keep holding the microphone when I want to sit back.
I'm sitting back.
I know you're sitting back, but the microphone's nowhere near as close to you, so maybe it's a matter of bringing it closer, or you sitting closer to the microphone.
I tried. You told me that I was sitting too close.
Yeah, but before you were, yes.
How was that too close?
Well, you see, you were touching it.
All right.
The feedback is going to be terrible. Please, thank you. Even just touching the microphone then, that could have been bad. Yeah. But you wouldn't know because you don't listen to the show anymore.
I listened to the last 2 episodes.
Okay, fair. And then the past 7 or whenever you were last on?
I think I listened to 3, but it wasn't. I listened to the last 2 and then 1, but it wasn't.
It wasn't good.
I'm saying it wasn't like the last 3 in a row. It was one of those 7 that you were talking about.
Yeah.
And then the final 2, the one was... So we doing names? Yeah, you did do names. Sarah and Gracie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
That's good. I probably should have explained the name thing to her. I decided not to, so... Oh, well. She's not going to listen to this one. She'll listen to her own episodes.
That was a good episode. It
it was. So this is the... Let's review previous episodes while on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great. No other show does this, and for good reason.
Those are my least favorite episodes of any sitcom. Even when I think It's Always Sunny did it, but I don't remember. I think they did. Any show that does it, I hate flashback episodes, which are always based in previous ones.
Always Sunny has done that, where they've contradicted their own law. I think where they did the roller skating rink in the new season. Do you remember?
No, but that was a past thing, but it wasn't. When I say a flashback, I mean where they literally show clips from previous episodes.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, like a clip show.
Right.
We skipped that Always Sunny episode.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Not just Always Sunny. A lot of shows do it. Most sitcoms do it. And I hate them. Can't stand them.
And now here you are doing it yourself.
That's right.
You fucking hypocrite.
So roll the previous clip from a few months ago.
Yeah, that's right. Yes. Fuck, yeah. This has been going for a while.
Yeah.
Not this episode or this bit in the episode, but like the podcast in general. Yeah, like we didn't do any sort of celebration, but this is the episode. This is the episode 29, 28. I don't even fucking know. Nah, fuck it, I'm not even gonna check. Episode 29 anniversary special. There's no particular anniversary, just hooray, we hit 29. What a great number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary of 29.
Do you have any fun facts relating to the number 29? Anything at all?
On the 29th of May, I was arrested for killing a black man.
See, that is a fun fact.
I was arrested for impersonating a police officer.
Ah, you see. Now, was the impersonating the police officer before or after the killing of the black man?
Well, that was the impersonation of the police officer.
Oh, of course. So it was a double crime, but they cancelled each other out, so it was okay.
Yes.
Okay, there we go. See, this has been fun facts about the number 29 on episode 29.
Yes.
Moving on. There's... We got to get better at segues. Sometimes they're really good. Sometimes they're not.
We've both got a ridiculous amount of notes here. Now, this is all from quite a while ago. I've got quite a few things I wanted to bring up, and just in general, I've avoided an old conversation with you. I've not mentioned them.
Yep.
At all.
Yep, same.
So, one thing here, this is a quick dot point one, this thing here, it was just like many years ago, like in like 1999 or something, this one journalist sent all these checks out to all these different billionaires and stuff like that to see who would cash them. And Donald Trump cashed a 13-cent check.
That is funny.
They sent in the check. He cashed it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, money's money, you see.
But is that worth your... It's not even worth your time or my time.
Yeah. Well, look, true. But that's an interesting experiment, I think. Because it's like, you doesn't even have to be billionaires. You could do it to your friends just to see who's stingy.
Yes.
Yeah, and like people don't even really do checks these days. Like, not really.
I think I've done one check when I was younger.
Yeah, maybe I've done something related to tax, but I guess I want to run that. I want to run that experiment just to see, just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Who would act?
Mossman.
Because yeah. Well, look, maybe not. It took no. Actually, no. I was gonna say something that I'm not gonna. Because I'd have to bleep around it and edit it, and now I'll tell you after the show.
Okay.
It is relating to him and banks.
Oh my god.
He robbed one.
He robbed like a pen?
He robbed he stole from a bank.
It's gonna be like what's the punchline? Okay.
I'll tell you after the show.
Okay.
Mossman robbed the bank.
So, I've actually had something in my notes which I think you overheard it. I didn't mean for you to overhear this.
Yeah.
But it's a joke that I thought of. Well, not even a joke. I actually believe this.
Okay. Yes.
I think that diamonds should be measured not in carats, but measured by the lives lost to acquire them.
I think that's
for value.
Fair. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. So let's say that you're at a diamond auction and they're like, "Hey, this diamond is worth 10,000 lives."
Sure.
And then everyone at the auction gets massacred, right? Now the diamond is worth 11,000 lives. I don't know how big auctions are. I'm going to assume 1,000, just for numbers' sake. So now this diamond is worth 11,000 lives, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, I think it's either that or like the amount of people that die trying to mine it.
Oh, okay. So once it's been mined and formed, that's it. That's the value.
Like 13 children in Ethiopia died trying to get this diamond.
So how do you grade children then?
Well, look, we believe in equality of all races, people, religion. We're a very progressive show.
Yes.
So I think that all child deaths should be rated equally at 1 for 1. Mm-hmm. Thoughts?
Okay, just 1 for 1. Cool. Okay, so it's just purely quantity. There's no additional quality. It's just children.
It's just children.
Okay, what if a pregnant woman mines this mine? Does that count as 1 point or 2 points?
3.
3? Why 3?
Because
there could be twins.
That's right.
Right. Now, what if in the mining process... So wait, do they have to die to be added to the counter, or is it just contributions?
Suppose you could add, like, decimal places for injuries. Like a limb counts as, like, 0.3.
But then then it becomes extra value parts, because you said life was a life, yeah? 1 for 1. But now if you're getting into decimal points, it becomes a lot more complicated, and someone has to keep track of that per diamond. There are lots of diamonds around.
We are generating so many jobs, both in diamond mining, grave digging, and bureaucracy of counting all of this. You're welcome, society.
Yes. Quite frankly, we deserve more thanks.
I think we do. Moving on.
I wish there was a fucking camera in the studio. I wish if there was ever a moment to have like that on film, like that would have been good.
There was something to do with rugby league a while ago.
Right, okay.
It's happened a little bit ago now, a few weeks.
Bro, you're like, oh, I got 13 things, and now you bring up like sports, diamond mining.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
Twitter articles.
There was this whole thing a while ago where basically in rugby league, the Manly Sea Eagles had a couple of rainbow lines on their jersey, right? Some pride thing.
Oh yeah, I did hear about this actually.
Right, and a lot of the players were very upset. They refused to wear it. They're unacceptable.
They're like, no, that's gay.
Right. Yeah. So they were like, this is unacceptable. This is inappropriate. We can't wear it. And I said, like, I'm like, why not? Like, we'll look at the jersey. So we look, and it's like, you know what? Fair enough. It's got this big thing. It says points bet, and like in between the two rainbow flags. I'm like, it promotes gambling. That it's horrible. It really negatively impacts a lot of families. They're like, what? No, we don't give a fuck about the gambling. That's that gay shit.
Oh, right. Yeah. See, now we understand it. Didn't some people say it was like, oh, religious values, or it's like
it was a mixed fabric shirt.
No, but you see,
it's the rainbow.
It's the rainbow. They don't like bright colors, and all of them.
It was just between the gambling ad and the middle that they're like, that's fine.
Yeah.
I love the gambling, but the gay shit.
No gay shit.
Just refusing. And I thought that was a pretty good meme.
But do you know if that particular jersey was for the men's league and the women's league, or was it just the dudes cracking the shits?
I don't know know enough about the men's league to also know enough about the women's league.
Okay, all right.
I don't pay attention to that one. I'm not going to pay attention to the other one.
You heard it here first. JustTom's a sexist.
That's right.
He does not watch women's sports. He refuses because they are boring.
You'd think this would be impactful. We started with the whole Andrew Tate thing.
You're right, actually. Fuck.
I think I did mention this one too because this is interesting.
Yeah.
To me, you might not find. I don't think that Barnzey finds it interesting, but I think that the people might. And this is that the Cayman Islands participate in the Commonwealth Games.
You did mention this to me, actually.
Right, and like with the equivalence being, what was the equivalence that was given?
I think you were saying it was like if the Vatican City entered in the Olympics.
Right.
Like the regular Olympics.
Sure. Yeah, it just seems ridiculous as a concept.
See, because I didn't know anything about the Cayman Islands. I think I told you to say something on the show as well, and then I was like, hey.
It's like you just hear about them on TV shows just as like a tax haven, like, oh yeah, it's registered in the Caymans, and you're like, it's just a place on paper. You don't think about it as a real place, like with families and schools.
It's not real, that's right. I'm going to see if I can find...
It's just accountants swimming as fast as they can away from the IRS.
That's their motivation. It's like how like the dogs in dog racing would chase like I don't know,
the fake rabbit going around.
Yeah, the fake rabbit. I was gonna say like a cat on a stick.
I like that, the cat on a stick.
The Cayman Islands. Yeah, no. It was about the Vatican City. I was like, yeah, phrase it like this.
I had this was mentioned to me earlier today. I added this to the list. It was only mentioned to me earlier today.
Yep.
A friend messaged me this. He said, US schools can no longer evacuate when a fire alarm is pulled, as it could be a shooter that pulled it, and just waiting for the students to come out. And I thought that was hilarious.
That is also a viable strategy.
I thought it was so funny to think about. Like, it's true. Like, no, we're gonna have one door. I'm like, fuck, awesome. Pull the fire alarm, just wait.
Yeah.
You know what? Added bonus, light a fire.
He gets arrested for camping. Not for shooting, but for camping.
Camping, that's very funny.
It's like, your name is camp. It's like, you mean like in nature? It's like, no. You pulled the fire alarm and waited in the hallway.
Like you're playing Call of Duty and you hear the people complaining, oh, it's just fucking camping, this is bullshit.
God damn it, we can't get in. He knows we're coming.
Now, there's this Reddit post I saved.
Right. You know, okay. I don't know how much you realise we're speeding through all yours, so we're gonna run out. So like, yeah, we've got 13.
Well, this is gonna be quite a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
So on r/Australia.
Just remember the last time that you read something from Reddit. No, last time I read something from Reddit from your suggestion, I got a strike on TikTok. So make it good.
Pretty sure it was your suggestion that you wanted me to read out.
Yes, and then I think you're like, haha, no, you read it, and then I clicked
You posted to TikTok. That was your choice.
Yes, okay. Well, also, Morse edited it, so I think he gets, give or take, 51% of the blame.
Give or take.
There you go. Give or take. What does the post say?
It's on r/Australia.
Okay.
I have burning hatred for Kyle and Jackie O.
Oh, okay. I think I've seen something about this.
It's very funny.
Okay, go ahead, please.
This is just a ramble as I need to get this off my chest. I've never been a fan of radio. It's all fucking shit. However, I have recently started driving for Uber Eats as a side gig and made the unfortunate mistake of turning FM radio on tonight. Not 10 minutes ago, Kyle and Jackie O aired a segment where they dangle $10,000 in front of someone. The person tells a story, and the jury, 9 random people, must decide whether they're telling the truth or not.
Alright, pause. In concept, it sounds like a fair enough idea.
Sure.
Cool game show, good for radio. It's like, hey, have a caller in, lie or tell the truth, let the people vote, and then if you're able to fool all those people, it's good. In theory, it sounds like a good idea.
Yes.
Carry on.
So they must decide whether they're telling the truth or not. All seems harmless, some fun and games, right?
I'm going to pause you. Can you speak closer into the microphone? Or like just...
This is in all caps, by the way, the next part. The rest, so far it hasn't been, but this part is.
Yeah.
But then, they bring on a contestant and it's a fucking mother with a dying child. I cannot even fathom how they thought this was a good idea. It was miserable to listen to. It was upsetting when the mother didn't win the money her son so desperately needed. Let it known that taking advantage of a dying child and vulnerable mother for sob story points is not below Kyle and Jackie O or KIIS FM for that matter.
KISS, that's pronounced KISS FM.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck commercial radio, and then there's the whole edit thanking them for the upvotes.
Yeah,
and
no,
stuff.
yeah, that part, not necessary for that part.
No.
Now, I do actually want to hear that segment and how it went, because the Reddit post is one thing, right? But I want to hear how it played out.
But how?
I want to imagine that they are berating her for guessing that she was wasn't lying. Is that what the result was?
I think she wasn't lying.
She wasn't
and they didn't
lying.
believe her. So they dangled 10k in front of her that she needs, and then they're like, nope, you don't get it.
Because what? You didn't follow our rules? Because that sounded like, did they change the rules?
I don't know. That's all that story is all the information that I have.
Right. So what's the actual game? Like, okay, I'll tell, like, let's say, I went and I played golf on the weekend, right? Am I lying?
You're lying.
Okay, cool. So you win $10,000.
I don't think I win $10,000. I think you
I win.
lose.
I lose. Wait a minute.
I think you just get nothing.
Shit. No. How much more interesting would that be? It's like, okay, this is a bet. There's $10,000 on the line. If I guess correctly, I get it. But if I guess incorrectly, you get it, and it's the other person giving it.
Well, I think we mentioned this in the podcast before, but this is like my classic idea of a restaurant. Mexican restaurant. We'll call it Bramberos.
Bramberos, okay.
Sure. And but you know how Zambreros does the signs, and they say for every meal you buy, we will donate one to someone who needs one.
Right, of course.
Well, I think it should be the policy. I think that's fantastic, and I think the policy should increase, and instead be for every meal that you buy, we give a meal to someone who needs one. Mm-hmm. And for every meal you don't, we'll take one away.
That's right, yeah. I think I do. This is sounding familiar, actually, yeah. You know what? I am a big fan of this policy, actually. I think
it's quite incentive.
Blackmailing people into ordering your food so that other people won't starve, I think that's a good incentive, actually.
I think so.
Yeah. Like, it's like, profits are down, attack the homeless. It works. That's how it is.
I was what is it? I'm trying to think of his name. Luch?
Yeah.
I'm sure for the podcast reference.
Yeah. I think we've said his name's Liam as well. We've used both.
Okay, well, I was talking to him earlier, and I told him about how I won't say the specific location, but on my way home from work, I'm just gonna say, I'm just gonna say Adelaide. I was in Adelaide, and on my way home from work, I ran over and killed every single homeless person in Adelaide, single-handedly solving the homelessness crisis.
I mean, you drove the number down to zero.
That's
quite
right.
literally.
And you're welcome, quite frankly. And there's no need to thank me.
Any current homeless people that you see in Adelaide, they're new homeless people. They don't count. You have to be homeless for a year to be considered homeless.
Well, I keep my eyes peeled, and I encourage you all to do the same, because the homelessness epidemic is very tragic, it's very sad, and we need to try and prevent it.
I believe, actually, before he was kicked out of office, Boris Johnson was aiming to cut all homeless people in half by 2025.
Phenomenal policy. And
Yes.
then he clarified it by saying he didn't mean to physically cut them in half, and I was like, what are you talking about? That solves the problem.
That would have solved the problem. And he goes, no, that would have doubled it, because it was like, wait, but legs isn't a life, you know? So if you're doing the value system of the what's it called? The child diamond mines, then it would have actually been 0.5. So he quite literally would have cut the homeless population in half by removing half their value, by chopping off their legs.
It's such a waste. You're right. So we shouldn't... You're right. Yeah, it's such a waste. Killing the homeless population is an awful, evil thought. When we can put them into the diamond mines.
That's right, yes. And then we could turn them into a profit.
That's
we
right.
provide jobs for them. They get to work, fulfilling their need.
Well, we give them food and shelter.
Barely.
Right.
Enough. But then, yeah. I think Boris Johnson would agree.
I think there's a word we're forgetting about for that, like America's greatest tragedy. I just don't remember what it is, though.
No, I don't know either.
It's forgotten.
I think so. That's all right. Well, see, I'm so glad that you kept bringing up Boris Johnson, because he wasn't
I kept bringing up Boris.
I'm so glad you did, because he actually... his like... What's the word? His departing quote, right? When he
I watched it.
Yeah?
I watched the clip. I was watching it live in the UK Parliament.
Fucking quotes Terminator 2.
I know.
Hasta la vista.
And then he just goes, and hasta la vista, baby. Walks off, high fives his fucking cabin, just on his way out. I'm just like...
You know what? Legend. Fucking, that's good. That's respectable. I like that.
It's just the way, hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah.
with his own idiosyncrasies in his speech.
Yes, yeah. That's how you know it was authentic and real. And it was a reference, not a stolen, I guess, line, stolen scripture.
Scripture.
They are very important words, you see, Tom. And they should, Hasta la Vista Baby should become an official religious scripture.
Speaking of, I think that there was like, I think I saw on Twitter one time this tweet, and it's like some very, very old manuscript. And it's like saying, it's like a gospel that's talking about Jesus' wife and the words that he's used to refer to her or something. And it's like, the only words that they could have transcribed from this manuscript, from like the scripture, was just "my wife."
Just my wife.
And that's it. That's all they could. Yeah. So people just read that and were like, "Oh my god, it's just the Borat." Just Jesus, my wife. I hated it.
Could you imagine? Oh fuck! What's something that Jesus has said? We got to have a quote, and you just got to insert in Borat's "my wife" into the quote.
What is it? There's the gospel, the child's gospel. Of
Hang on,
Thomas.
looking away from the microphone and covering your mouth is not good for an audio platform.
There's like the child gospel of Thomas or something like that.
Not sure.
It's like this actual. And this is true. This is real. So it's no longer just doing a bit.
What do you mean? We haven't done.
I mean,
yes,
so of course, dead
we've
serious
never
so
done
far.
a bit on this
That's
show.
Right.
Not once.
So,
and if I have, call me a liar, because I've never lied on this show, not even once, and that's the truth.
I see. And that's a lie. No. So, it's basically, I've told you about this before. It's, one moment, please. Apologies. So.
Alright, cool. If you wanted me to fill in the space with time instead of just saying 1 moment, please, and then I could have.
Fill in the time.
Fill in the time. Okay, cool. So, well, I'm so glad that you brought up Boris Johnson. I'm not going to do that again. No.
Thank you for filling in the time.
That's all right.
So,
fantastic.
The Gospel of Thomas or Child Thomas or something like that. It's a real canonical.
Yeah. Yes. Canonical is yes. It's in the official.
It's in the official Bible law.
Bible law. That's right.
Right. So in the Christian law, and it's basically the life of Jesus as a child and he's being raised. And he was horrible. He killed so many people.
As a child?
Yeah, so like he used his miracle. There was one... Oh, no, it was something like, based on, from my recollection, that... I'm just going to bring this up.
You know, it's funny. It's like if Jesus was Homelander from The Boys when he was a kid.
It basically is all like, you know the movie Brightburn?
Brightburn? Yes.
Breitbart. No, that's the fucking right-wing
I think
news
I'm
thing.
not sure. I don't know.
It is, yeah.
It is? Alright, cool.
So, yeah, it's kind of similar to that. And I'm trying to find it. I've got it up here.
Right. So it's like, oh yeah, Jesus has got superpowers as a kid. He cannot control them, therefore.
The Infancy Gospel of Thomas.
The Infancy Gospel. Okay.
So you can Google this.
So wait, is this a banned gospel?
It's not banned, but they didn't put it into the.
It was cut for time.
It was cut for time, exactly. So the text describes the life of the child Jesus from the ages of 5 to 12. With fanciful and sometimes malevolent supernatural events. He is presented as a precocious child who starts his education early. The stories cover how the young incarnation of God matures and learns to use his powers for good, and how those around him first respond in fear and later with admiration. One of the episodes involved Jesus making clay birds, which he then proceeds to bring to life, an act also attributed to Jesus in the Quran. Then it gives reference to the particular article.
Okay, cool.
And in medieval work known as Toledot Yeshu, and there's a links off to that, although Jesus' age at the time of the event is not specified in either account. In another episode... Oh, that's just it. We'll stop there. Okay. In another episode...
Wait. Shh. I know it gets good, but I want you to slowly and more clearly articulate your words, because not everyone thinks as fast and as autistic as you do.
Okay. In another episode, a child disperses water that Jesus has collected. Jesus kills this first child when at age 1, he curses a boy, which causes the child's body to wither into a corpse. Later, Jesus kills another child via curse when the child apparently accidentally bumps into Jesus, throws a stone at Jesus, or punches Jesus.
Do you know what I'm imagining? So do you remember in like the midway point in Supernatural where Lucifer's still a villain, but he's like a not comedic villain, but like He's around, but he's just like killing shit left and right.
I think so. I stopped watching after season 10.
Okay, no, this is before season 10.
Okay.
So, like, let's say someone like bumps into him, he'd snap his fingers, and then they just turn to dust.
Sure.
That's exactly what I'm picturing right now.
I mean, yeah. Once again, depending on translation about what he did. So, this is what's very funny.
All right, good.
When Joseph and Mary's neighbors complain, they are miraculously struck blind by Jesus. Jesus then starts receiving lessons, but arrogantly tries to teach the teacher, instead upsetting the teacher who suspects supernatural origins. Jesus is amused by this suspicion, which he confirms, and revokes all his earlier apparent cruelty. Subsequently, he resurrects a friend who was killed when he falls from a roof, and heals another who cut his foot with an axe. After various other demonstrations of supernatural ability, new teachers try to teach Jesus, but he proceeds to explain the law to them instead. Another set of miracles is mentioned, in which Jesus heals his brother, who is bitten by a snake, and 2 others who have died from different causes. Finally, the text recounts the episode in Luke in which Jesus, age 12, teaches in the temple. And basically, then it goes into different details of them. Seriously, Google this. The Infancy Gospel of Thomas.
Okay.
It's a legit thing. Obviously, it's, the story thing there, but just as genuine and just as likely as any other Bible stories.
I really like going into the behind the scenes and the making of the Bible, and to find out what was cut and what didn't make the final cut, really.
It's kind of like the Silmarillion, or like...
Silmarillion of the Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Even though I think that's just Genesis. But still.
That's okay. Look, listen. All right, fair.
That's just the neighbors that, like, they complain about their child being killed by Jesus, then they're, quote, miraculously struck blind.
I'd like to imagine it was also in a strike of lightning. So, like, if just picture Jerusalem, but in Minecraft, right? And then there's lightning that comes
Jerusalem
down.
in Minecraft?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, Jerusalem in Minecraft.
Okay.
And lightning comes down from the skies, and then suddenly you're blind.
Sure.
That's what happened.
That is what happened.
Yes.
Was a Christian, I believe this.
Yes, of course. Well, I mean, no. It was cut, so you got to cut it from your beliefs.
I see.
This is clearly a work of fiction.
That's right.
You see, so that means that you got to take it with a grain of salt, right? Because it didn't make it because the Bible.
Or with a pillar of salt.
That's right. Yes, exactly. That was pretty good.
Thank you.
Fuck.
Cheers.
So yeah, that one is it's fiction. Otherwise, it'd be in the real Bible.
The real Bible.
With the rest of the real stories.
The rest of the real stories.
Yes.
Now, which is the real Bible? Because there is, like, the King Thomas or King James version or something, as well as there's, like, the Church of England and then the Catholic one.
I'm not actually very well versed on the different versions of the Bible.
Well, no one is.
No, okay, fair. Oh, I know, I'm sure there are some people whose it's their life
Not
expertise. Not one? Not at all.
I feel like anyone who dedicates their life to the Bible as a religious person, or anyone who dedicates their life to any religion, is insane.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, why do you believe this?
Well...
And is that not a religious belief in yourself? Therefore, creating a paradox saying that you have a religious belief.
No.
Therefore, you fall into the same category. Therefore, you are insane by your own diagnosis.
For many different reasons, sure, but not that specific one. No, it's like, so I've dedicated my life, everything... Genuinely, not even joking, I've dedicated every aspect of my life to Harry Potter. Because it's real. Mm-hmm. And I love it. And I will spend every waking moment of my existence to spread the good news of Harry Potter.
Right. Are you aware that Harry Potter is the worst part of the Harry Potter franchise?
Well, it's not my choice as to whether or not it's good or bad. That's just the truth.
Yeah.
I can't help what
it'd be like Jesus is my least favorite character in the Bible.
But that's literally as a translation of how like a priest or a rabbi or anything sounds. Like, you're insane. Well, you're a nice guy. No.
Look, okay. The idea of religion has been blown up, like, recently. Like, look at Islam, for example.
That's very funny.
Quite literally, right? Thank you. But religion as a whole, like, wasn't it supposed to be, hey, this is how I want to live my life. Here's a rule book or a guideline. I'm going to follow this because I think this to be fact, right? But now it's about, hey, you have to believe what I believe.
I I would say that if it was good from the start, because no one person said, I don't want to masturbate and do and I don't want to have to do things on I don't want to be productive on Sunday. Maybe the productive on Sunday one. That's not a good example.
Yeah.
But
I'm actually incredibly productive on Sundays.
I want to kill people, so I'm not going to... No, but you get what I mean. Like,
yes, yeah.
There is genuinely just a lot of stuff, which is just general normal pleasures and, like, just stuff like that. And then if it's like, this is how I want to live my life, and then write that down. No, that doesn't make any sense. It's just random, stupid stuff.
Well, look, okay. Think of religions then as... Just think of them as fiction, right? Pretend that they're fiction, okay?
I'm there.
Okay. Now... You can get invested in the story and characters and live your life by them, and you could go to like gatherings and you can buy their merchandise and you can really subscribe, and it'd be like a Comic-Con of sorts, but for religion, right?
Yes.
That would be crazy. So why is that not okay?
It's not okay.
But Comic-Con is okay. Do you see my point?
Do you believe... Is Iron Man in the room with us right now, Barnzey?
He is looking down on us.
I see.
From the skies.
But do you see my point? Very stark contrast.
I like the pun.
Thank you.
You didn't even realise.
That was a completely intentional...
Yeah, bull fucking shit. Bull fucking shit.
I was said it in such an exaggerated way as well.
I know. Yeah, I know. It just played out very well. It just proves we're comedic geniuses and we should start our own religion.
That's right.
That's basically what it's about.
Judaism. Wait, that's taken.
That's taken.
Fuck,
yeah. All right, we'll come back to that. We'll brainstorm. All right. Well, speaking of things that should be brainstormed, imagine if you didn't brainstorm and you released a product that just ultimately failed, right? Just think of that for a sec, right? If you're an inventor, you make something and it just fails, right? Put yourself in their shoes, right? Now, you don't actually have to, because I have a Twitter thread here, which is okay. It reads off like an article, so we'll treat it as an article, but It is a Twitter thread, right? Are you aware of the Museum of Failure?
Your house?
No.
No!
Shit. You got me there. Okay. So there's a place called the Museum of Failure in Sweden, and it highlights 150 or more failed products, and it's meant to show that innovation requires risk-taking and failure. So in here, it's like a top 10 list of the Museum of Failure, right? So we're just going to go through some of these, and you'll get your thoughts. Okay?
The Watch Mojo of failure.
Exactly. Okay. So number 10, the ESPN phone from 2006.
ESPN phone.
Yes, the ESPN phone. So the ESPN branded flip phone provided grainy video highlights when 24/7 sports news. It costs $400 or free with a $65 to $225 a month plan. It lasted less than a year, with Steve Jobs telling ESPN executives, "Your phone is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard of." Dumbest fucking idea I've ever heard of. And if you look at it, it looks like a children's toy. Like, actually.
Yeah, you could argue, well, all flip phones look like children's toys, but just all aspects of that are just...
Well, flip phones in general look like children's toys, really, because I think when we were children, that's...
we had?
Yeah, that's what we had.
Yeah.
It might be a generational thing there. Anyway, number 9. IKEA Air, but with the dots in between, so it's AIR. IKEA...
What is it? What's the product?
AIR. So, IKEA took... So this is what it says. IKEA takes DIY and transportable to new heights with its line of inflatable furniture. Valves constantly leaked and needed repumping. The line did not last it lasted a decade. Holy shit. Yeah, so just like an inflatable couch by IKEA.
Okay.
So you got to assume that there was like inflatable bookshelf, inflatable bed, inflatable TV unit, all sorts of things.
Inflatable TV unit.
Nothing can go wrong with an inflatable TV unit, you see, because it's IKEA Air, and IKEA Air never fails. Any thoughts?
I have no thoughts.
That's okay.
On IKEA Air.
Just like the person who invented this. Twitter Peak from 2009 to 2010.
What's it called, sorry?
Twitter Peak. So it was a $200 handheld device that only ran Twitter. It was a disaster.
This is a brilliant idea.
No, the next slide. It just says it was a disaster. You could only see 20 characters at a time. Linked websites were inaccessible. And it only refreshed the 10 most recent tweets. And that was the limit of its function. And it literally just looked like a calculator with part of Twitter as the screen.
I love it.
So you were saying you would invest in something like this
Yes.
for $200. You got to assume it's US dollars as well.
I'd invest in my life savings into this. I thought you meant like it's a...
So you were saying if you were in a position to back this project, you would say, yes, I want to have Twitter peak.
What year is it?
2009.
Maybe!
But maybe not, though.
Oh, well, actually, no, 2009. Wait, that's retarded because the iPhone was out in 2007.
Yeah.
No, never mind.
And you're like, yeah, give them all my money, life savings, fuck it.
Right.
You should have thought about that. You are bad at investing. Never take financial advice from you. Okay? Here's a fun one.
I'm flabbergasted.
The spray-on condom from 2006 to
God.
2008.
Is this like the fucking thing with the dude with the meatballs?
Yes, exactly like Cloudy and Chance of Meatballs with the spray-on shoes, except it's for your dick, okay?
So if you need to pee, you explode.
Yes, you have to assume so.
Okay.
So I have a guide here. Step 1, insert dick into spray apparatus. Step 2, spray on melted latex. Step 3, wait 3 minutes for it to dry. Step 4, this is the most insane thing ever seen in my life. So
Can I see?
yes, you can. Yeah. So they don't actually show the application.
It's a flashlight.
But yes, it's a flashlight that sprays your dick with melted latex, and then the latex is supposed to dry, and then you have a condom on.
Ugh.
Yeah.
What's
Not
the
good.
point of that?
It's supposed to protect you during sex.
But thank you.
Yes.
Okay, next one. I'm gonna stick to good old fashioned duct tape.
What number are we up to? So hang on. So 10, 9, 8, 7. Number 6. Lifesaver holes. So this person says, honestly, this was a good idea. Lifesaver launched a product that was supposed to resemble the punched out holes from the original candy. So do you know the candy? Yeah, it's like the circle with the hole. So someone decided to just sell the holes.
That's nothing.
No, because what you do is to make the hole.
Oh, I get it. So
Yeah.
when you take the hole out.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
And now they have 2 products. So it was essentially
That's not a bad idea.
No, that's what this person agrees with.
Wait,
as well.
no, that's a bad idea.
Well, see, you know the whole reason why that there's a hole in there. This I
Well,
found
they wouldn't
out.
cut out the holes. They'll just make it with a mold with the hole happening to be there.
I think eventually, yes. But what happened was, I think I could be completely mistaken. It might be a different lolly, but I have reason to believe this to be 100% fact. The person who invented these lollies, their child swallowed and died on the prototype because it got stuck in their throat and they were choking. And his thought was, if only he could breathe because he was choking. So the next lot of prototypes had holes already so that if kids did swallow it, they wouldn't choke and die like his son did.
Well, we know what that means, and
It means that we should
that's one piece of value to put onto that product.
That's exactly right. Number 5, Nintendo Power Glove. Are you familiar with this?
I am familiar with this.
Right, so this was one of Nintendo's first forays into VR technology. It sold 600,000 units in the first 6 weeks, but it didn't actually do anything of note. The hand motion tech would later develop into the super successful Nintendo Wii controller. So it essentially was the ancestor of the Wii. But if you remember, what it looks like, it's literally just a controller strapped to a glove.
I remember. No, I recall.
Famously worn by the Hacker Man character from the movie Kung Fury.
I've never seen Kung Fury.
Really? It's a very good movie.
I don't want to watch it.
It's very good.
Please don't make me watch it.
It is one of the best movies in all of
see.
cinema, right? Kung Fury 2 is actually coming out, I think in a year or 2.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Hitler's the bad guy. As opposed to being the good guy.
The good guy.
Like he was. They decided to flip the script from real life history.
That's right.
All right. Number 4, Harley Davidson cologne. So Harley has a strong brand and merch makes up about 5% of its sales. In the mid-90s, the motorbike manufacturer got a little ambitious with its creative branding, and
It's not even a terrible idea.
well, so like when I was a kid, I had a Harley Davidson like quilt set without even knowing that it was about bikes.
Sure.
Like I just saw the color scheme, I was like, hey, that's cool.
Same.
Yeah, it's like dumb child brain. So I'm sure the merchandising made a fair amount of money. It's like how George Lucas, the only reason he got as rich as he did was because he wanted the toy rights for Star Wars. And everyone's like, wow, you're ridiculous, you're stupid, sure, have it. And then he just made millions and millions and millions on it.
Quick tangent. Do you know where Steve Jobs made most of his money?
No, I don't.
Disney. Not even Apple. His riches Not even from Apple.
So
Most of his wealth was because of was in Disney, and then grew from that because he didn't actually own that much of Apple afterwards.
Right.
So all the money you see like Richard it wasn't even because of Apple's success.
what you're saying is Steve Jobs is a fraud.
Yes.
Okay, good. Well, I'm glad though you were able to break that news.
That's right.
Because I'm sure not many people know it, and as you know, this is a primary source of news on the internet.
That's right. That is an actual fact, though.
That is.
But that Harley Davidson one, that's not a terrible idea. Like,
No, well, see, the actual deodorant was called, not deodorant, cologne was called Hot Rod.
it's bad.
It's pretty bad. That's look, it's alright. It's fine, but it probably didn't smell very good. I hear it smelled like motorbike oil.
That is exactly what I would expect it to smell like. But they do make like bourbon soap.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Right.
that's a thing.
Bourbon soap. So can you get drunk off that?
No, it's just the smell.
Oh, okay. So it's just that.
I don't drink, but I want to smell like an alcoholic, you know?
Yeah. That's a very good idea. Yeah, it's like it's what useful application could that really have? Like,
I need people to know that I have a personal tragedy.
Yeah. Without actually having one.
That's right.
It's like it's temporary. It only lasts like a couple of hours maximum.
That's right.
Yeah, you no longer have the stench of being a complete and utter failure.
That's right.
And it washes off with this brand of other soap.
Regular soap.
Yes. Here's another one. Apple Pippin. So pre-Steve Jobs' return, so he must have left. Apple launched a gaming console. It used Macintosh tech, so it was pretty powerful, but overpriced. So it cost $600 when at the time the Nintendo 64 cost $200. So that would be like if a PlayStation 5 valued at $1,000 today, and then Apple goes, hey, we have the Apple console, and they sold it for $3,000.
Yes.
And they'd claim that it would be better. Well,
to be fair, they've started selling wheels for $99.
Yeah, I know. Weren't they selling like monitor stands as well for $600?
It was something ridiculous. It's just like a small, like it's like the bracket to like attach the monitor that you paid like
and that
$6,000.
It was it was like the computer was a monitor, and it was like that was like I think a year ago, wasn't it? Maybe 2 years.
Maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah, that couldn't have been successful.
For its purpose, I think it was. Like studios, industrial people who are using it like a 6K display. It has utility, but just not for regular people.
Yeah, I guess.
It's like a console where it's like
made for
the whole
games.
point is you're trying to reach out to the most broad audience.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I can see that. Here we go. The next item is the Arch Deluxe. So this is McDonald's largest flop in 1996. So facing pressure from Burger King, McDonald's made an adult burger. Patty on potato flour bun with lettuce leaf, not shredded, tomato, and fancy mustard. So it failed after $100 million in ads spent, and the ad copy had children criticizing the adult taste. So what? The burger tasted like an adult?
I like that. No. This is because they did something really stupid.
What did they do?
They tried to compete with the Yumbo.
Okay.
There is no competing with the Yumbo, you see.
Of course. See,
Do you recall the Yumbo?
No.
The Yumbo!
No idea what you're talking about. I was just agreeing with you, and then you questioned me on it. It's like, I cannot back this up. I have to back
You
off
don't know about the
immediately.
Yumbo?
No idea.
Did they not release it in Melbourne?
No.
Alright, so back at home, there in Adelaide, there was... Or Perth, why not?
Yeah.
So, there was a Hungry Jack's, and it's like all these ads around saying about how the Yumbo is back, and all these signs, and just the Yumbo back. Everyone's so excited. It's been away since like the 70s. It's finally back, and it's just cheese and ham and nothing else on burger buns.
It's just so
just cheese and ham. It's
Right.
called the Yumbo. It sounds like I'm making it up.
It does.
The it was so good. Like as in like the meme. I never had it. There's a pedestrian.tv article that just says the Yumbo thrums with a dark energy and I am powerless to resist. And the picture is just the ham and the cheese.
I mean, I expected that, but
It's exactly what you'd expect.
yeah, the Yumbo.
And look at the branding.
Yeah, that looks like a coloring book.
Yeah. So anyway, they tried to compete with that, and there's no competing with the Yumbo.
That's okay. I can see. I understand now. The Yumbo does reign supreme, and you know what? I think I should reach out to. Was it McDonald's? Yeah.
Hungry Jack's.
Hungry Jack's. I'm going to reach out to Hungry Jacks to see if they'll sponsor the podcast, and I'm going to see if we can get Yumbos delivered straight to the podcast studio, specifically for taste testing purposes, and then I will put it on Barnzey Food Reviews to then just promote it, because that's how sponsorships work. We'll reach out, we'll get that deal, make some money, and get ourselves some Yumbos. I think
Good.
Good.
I clicked on one of the things I had in my notes.
Yeah.
Because I've forgotten about a few of the things that are here.
Okay, but you see, I've still got more of the list. So.
No, we're done with the list. It's been 15 minutes.
I know it's been 15 minutes, but there was one last
Fine,
thing.
one
last thing. Colgate, frozen, beef, lasagna.
All right.
Okay. Okay, now...
So they saw this and went, this is a good idea.
So this is the image. And...
The reason I can kind of see that is because it's just a genuine product of like a frozen meal.
It's just from Colgate.
Right.
Right. Now, unfortunately, the Museum of Failure can't confirm whether or not this actually existed. Colgate denies everything.
They deny it's a conspiracy.
They deny everything. It's a massive conspiracy. Now, the fact that they were so quick to jump and deny, doesn't exist, never, makes me suspicious. I think the Colgate lasagna is in fact real.
You know, I believe that it is a very, very common meal consumed. It's been sponsored by its mascot spokesperson, Raggle Simpson.
Yes.
That's right.
They must have.
They're in together. That's what I think. Now,
you're just throwing allegations out there now. You've got to do your research.
Substantiate? I don't need to do jack shit.
You have to research before you throw such ridiculous claims out there, right? It's a rule in the show to always do your research.
Well, being of research, I have a picture with some text underneath that says, elderly couple accidentally burns house down during sex game involving World War II flamethrower.
I can see that happening. I've watched that movie by Quentin Tarantino, and it is called Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I see.
And that happens in that movie right at the end. Spoiler alert, people burn.
Oh, there's something else here. All right. Okay, so this happened on August 1st.
All right.
So we're watching the news and something, we're having dinner and the news on in the background. And there's something regarding the laws of freight and trucking safety.
Freight, I believe.
Right, freight and trucking safety. And basically they say, I don't know when this particular, I don't think it was live news or whatever, maybe it was, but when this particular segment was filmed or when it was wrote, but they said, look, don't forget, I'm watching this on August 1st. Mm-hmm. They say, we need higher safety standards. There has been over 50 deaths on the road in these specific scenarios since August.
Mm-hmm. Okay, right, yes.
And I'm just thinking, it's a massacre today in the last 6 hours. There's been 50. Whoa.
You know what? I think you were a victim of the classic, well-known holiday, August Fools. August Fools. You fell victim to August Fool's Day, and I believe that was all parody and satire.
I think it was too.
Yeah. Otherwise, that data is fucking ridiculous. But the fact that they were able to get it all together and present it so quickly and coherently means that they know what they're doing and they should be trusted with absolutely everything, ever. What do you think? Too much of an overreaction?
I don't think it's enough of a reaction.
Alright, fair enough. Next time I'll shout it.
I have, well, good. I have one more Twitter thread thing here. It's, okay. For the last 6 weeks, I've drank myself to sleep. Here are 8 things I've learned.
Interesting. Okay, good. We're just counting down things on this episode now, I guess.
Well, this is counting from 1 to 8. It's counting up, I guess. But
okay, alright, fine. We're counting.
I'm just going to make sure this is actually quite long, so I'm going to make sure it's actually funny before I then say it.
Alright, great. See, I did my research and checked to make sure my Museum of Failure was at least, at the very least, interesting. And you're like, okay, I didn't even read ahead.
I did. That's why I added to the list, but I just remember why I started, the part which made me find it so funny.
Okay, go ahead.
1. If I kill a 6-pack, I sleep like a baby. It's perfect. I'll bag a 6er of Bud Light and a shotgun, shotgun all 6 before heading to bed. Pass right out and purr. 2. 15 beers is my sweet spot. After work, I'll pick up a 15-pack and go to town. After 10, I'll hop in my car and pick up some cigarettes from the gas station. You don't know living until you've pounded 10 beers and go for a drive. When bedtime rolls around, I'm passed out on the floor. 3. When I really want to sleep, I'll drink 1 beer. Then immediately 23 more and wipe this stupid smile off my fucking face. If you can take out a 24-pack... If you can take out a 24-pack women really think that is impressive. I've had multiple.
What women? What women see? Hey, 24 beers? Like, go. You can have me.
I've had multiple ones compliment me for that. 4. I like buying a 5th Mohawk vodka and swigging that bitch while I walk down the road. Fear and devastation in my eyes. When I'm done, I'll pass out in the nearest dumpster.
What nationality is this person? Roughly.
They're white.
They're white, yeah. Could be American, could be Australian.
They said Bud Light, so I think American.
I think American too.
Sometimes I'll go... 5. Sometimes I'll go to the bar and drink as much as I can. Then I'll find the first person with a man bun and break an entire 40 ounce over his head. Cops called and my pants are to my knees. Pass out in a nice jail cell and get a free meal. 6. Drink as much as I can at 10 p.m. at night and go climb the nearest tree as high as I can go. Pass out in the tree and pray I fall and break my spine and neck. Then I could go to sleep for entirety. God, I want to die. If you like this thread, please share it with your teenage son. We need more alcoholics in our world. It will be a better society. My wife left me.
It was the last bit and you're like, yeah, all this build up and then that's your twist. That's great.
The very last line.
It's on a tweet on its own. Wait. I want to see the like ratio difference between that like, the likes on that tweet, just my wife left me, and the rest of the tweets.
It's all the same.
It's all exactly the same. Because I would have thought that it would be disproportionate to just the last bit.
No, I know we're running out of time, but I thought that was worth sharing.
Yeah.
But
we don't have to really do strictly an hour anymore. Like, even if it's like an hour 10, as long as we're good in conversation.
Yeah, I was going to say, I saw that the Sarah one went for like an hour and 2 minutes. I'm like, you bastard.
Wait till you hear the next one. It hasn't come out yet, but that goes for an
hour and a half.
Yeah, like hour. I think 37. Yeah. So that's going to be... That was a good one.
So it's a whole Mr. Incredibles We've Got Time meme.
Yeah, well, no, see, I don't think in memes like you, so I think in jokes instead. And memes are not jokes. No, you
synonyms.
Said they're not the same.
Well, you know what they say.
No, they don't say anything.
I think they do.
That's...
Trying to look around. Let's have a look at the old... No, sorry, I told you this one.
Mm-hmm.
And... So you already know this, but I'm going to mention for the podcast. I was working. I was quite stressed. I was given more and more things to do. And I was like, I'm exhausted. I will not be able to accomplish these tasks. And then I realized at what point... At what point have you been given so much work that you can then start to claim cocaine as a business expense on your taxes or to the business?
Okay. Can we actually figure that out?
The answer is you probably can't.
Why not?
In this country.
In this country.
So
what about hypothetically?
Right.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. If it's a different country... Now, coffee is that's tax deductible. If you're in an office or that sort of building, you buy it as like the local HR person or whoever buys that, office administrator.
Mm-hmm.
They can claim that to the business, and the business can claim with the taxes, I believe. So, if you're in a country where it was legal, not decriminalized, but legal...
Is there a country where it's legal, or is this hypothetical still?
It surely would be.
I don't know off the top of my head. I assume that it's such a priced commodity because of... Like, I know there's multiple processes for it to go through to be manufactured to get to nightclubs, for example, right? But I don't know if that means that it's... Like, I think the leaves that it come from are legal, but like once it's gone through all the processing, that's when it becomes illegal. I think.
So, Bolivia, it's apparently decriminalized for up to less than 50 grams.
Okay.
Brazil, it's decriminalized... Okay, so decriminalized for private use, but cultivation illegal. But cultivation is legal in Bolivia.
Okay.
In Colombia, it's legal up to 1 gram, with cultivation being legal. That was an obvious one.
All right. Yes.
Because stereotypes, you see.
Of course.
That's right. Lists by country.
So it's all South American countries by the look of it.
Mexico, yep, 0.5 gram.
South American.
No, it's Peru.
South American.
Yep.
What else?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just South Americans.
Just the South Americans.
It's just South Americans. They really love their cocaine. And that's not even a stereotype, it's the law.
Like, they do, I guess that's the case.
It's the law, it says
we
so.
Don't make the rules.
No, or the laws. And the people who did recognize that that's how it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, It's decriminalized in many other places. Like, I believe that Portugal decriminalized all drugs in 2002.
Okay, I should do more drug research.
Yeah, that's decriminalized, but trafficking and dealing is still illegal.
Right.
So, that's pretty much it. That's my little fact there. The ACT in Australia has this year decriminalized all drugs. All of them. Every single one of them. I suppose except poison. You can't take that.
Let's get high on rat poison.
I was going to say like cyanide or like ricin.
Nah, just regular poison. There was actually a clip from The Simpsons that came up recently on my feed, where it was like they're going to parent-teacher interviews, and Homer goes, "Oh, if you're good, we'll get you pizza on the way home, and if you're bad, poison." And then I think it's like Lisa says, "What if one of us is good and one of us is bad?" And Bart says, "Poison pizza." And then Homer goes, "No, I'm not making 2 stops," and then leaves.
That's the problem with it.
Yeah, that's it, right? Yeah.
I've run out of notes.
Well, you see, that's good because we were actually still in the middle of discussing something about cocaine, about at what point does it become tax deductible because of a service. So, let's say you're using it clinically, right, from dispensary, right, cocaine dispensary.
Sure.
Okay, so you can acquire it legally, and at what hour of working does it become necessary? Like, you know how people, they can't work without having a coffee after an hour, for example, right?
Sure.
Okay, so same principle, except we'll extend it. So let's say after 8 hours of work, and you including breaks in between, that, I think, is a good starting point. Let's discuss.
Well, we're trying to have a serious discussion here. I was going to make a joke about how the unions and Fair Work have gotten too far, and what we can do instead to appease them and ourselves is to make it so that after 10 hours you don't need everybody breaks or anything. But the business must supply you with cocaine.
Okay. And then you
That's
could
the
use
joke
it.
one.
See, but no. Let's make it serious.
Okay.
Because you can either use it to work more or sell it to make more money and not work more. It's a win-win.
Yes, that is a win-win.
But what was your joke one? Or what was your serious one, sorry?
Well, the people still get a break, but that after a certain amount of time, the cocaine, the business won't supply it. You can still get it, but only if you get it at a fair market price, and they will only pay for like 50% of it or something like that.
Okay.
And that the government will say, well, we'll pay for 40% of it. Not when we say pay for it, I mean like as a...
We'll provide the funds
tax,
for it.
No, not provide funds, but like a tax break.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Tax break, yeah. So it's like kind of like just claiming a monitor or like a part of a forklift or any other item.
Oh, that's so funny. Like that's where you're going with you're trying to think of just like items and shit. You're like monitor and a part of a forklift.
That's right.
It's like, you don't know what I do.
Yes.
You got no clue.
I work in a warehouse.
Like,
I am a
uniform, boots.
Yes.
Yeah, fucking simple.
Well, I'm a regular blue collar Joe.
You're right, yeah. But see, you could be a white collar, not in the sense of like what's white collar again?
White collar crime or white collar?
Or just white collar.
Just
collar
general
jobs.
white collars working. Sorry, we're talking about drugs. I was confused.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just like working in an office area.
Area, right? Which is actually pretty synonymous with drug use, specifically cocaine.
Yes.
So that could change the definition to what a white collar is, and then it just actually includes cocaine, and there you go. That will fit any industry that's a white collar gets the cocaine.
I think that the white collar criminals have it too difficult. I think that the current justice system is too hard on them, and really victimless crimes like that should be rewarded.
I agree.
We all know that billionaires and all these, big tech and big milk and all these places are the villains of society.
Yes.
The right wing, your left wing, all agree on that.
Big milk is the biggest villain of them all.
That's right. Which is why my idea is that for the little guy, they get any money that they embezzle from these billionaires' companies is tax-free.
I think that's a solution.
It will really keep people on their toes. One, it will give accountants more jobs from these billionaire people. And two, it adds a little spice.
Yes, because it's cocaine.
No, I'm talking about just embezzling funds from and stealing money from billionaires.
Right, yes,
is tax-free. The
Okay,
money you steal from them is not... They're not paying taxes on it anyway. If you embezzle it from them... Now, what that means is basically... It's like Robin Hood, but we don't give it to the poor.
You just take it.
That's right.
That's it. It's ours now.
But who's...
Fuck you.
But Big Milk is the only victim there, and no one likes Big Milk.
No. Big Milk is the biggest, evilest industry of them all.
That's right. They have been convincing us that
Big Pharma is the villain.
That's right.
But it's actually Big Milk. You know, it's always been Big Milk. And before we keep going on about Big Milk, we should probably close the show because otherwise Big Milk will come for us.
That's right.
And they will come hard because they are Big Milk. There's no milk that's bigger than Big Milk.
Their bones are crazy strong.
That's right. You know why it's crazy strong? Because they have a lot of milk. And you know how big the milk is?
Very big.
It's very big milk.
Very big milk.
All right, that's it then. The podcast is over. We're done. Go home. We're finished. You got better things to do.